Hello everyone, and thanks for stopping by to Scrap and Craft with Terry. Today we're going to do part 2 of our Rustic bee-themed paper bag journal. So before we get started, I'm going to say that I did a minor adjustment to this part right here, to this spine, where our signature is going to go in. I didn't like that really heavy paper at all that was on here. So I would suggest if you do use like that type of paper or something, just do a single layer. So I made a little adjustment, took that off, and I glued washi tape on it. I just glued this on. Goes good with the paper, and I think that'll support it good enough so it doesn't tear. I didn't put it on the outside because I didn't want to cover the paper, but I think that'll be just fine, and it folds better. So that's what we're doing. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to start with page 3. Lay this stuff aside, and I'm just going to glue this page down. We want to make for sure that we don't get over our score line here. I might have to trim this a little tiny bit. Let me see. Yes, I do. So let's see. I'll trim it back to about here. Okay. I think that's better. Make sure we don't have it over that one, and that's better. So, how's everyone doing today? Last night, well, the rest of yesterday, I think I'm running out of stick glue. I have another one, I'll have to grab it, because this one's gonzo. Let me grab it. So anyways, yesterday evening was just kind of a kick back and relax. Didn't do a whole lot. Okay. Getting some projects lined up that I want to do. Like some really super easy ephemera projects and that. So I think that'll be fun. Okay. Now let me make sure I'm getting this lined up like I'm supposed to, as I'm moving it all over the place. Try to line my bottom up here a little bit with the other one. At least with the glue stick, I can slide it around a little bit. And then I still have my room here to put my signature in. I think when I put this back in, I should have trimmed it just a little bit more, but I think it'll be okay. And this little bee was left over from a cutoff. So I thought he looked cute there in the corner of the paper, because, like, why waste him, huh? Okay. Now, down here, this was left over from one of the papers, so I just cut it out to make a pocket. I'm going to glue down this side and this side, and the bottom. Make sure I stay in the camera view. Getting my own little world over here. And I'm just going to stay in from the edge a little bit. Figured with these being the backgrounds, we could use these as accents because we don't want to waste them. Now these were cut out. These, like, little journal cards is what I'm using them for. Aren't they pretty? And I printed these on a little bit heavier paper. So you can stick these down in this tuck. Have them. And then I just thought I'd stick this in there too. H is for honeybee. And we can just stick that one right up there. Then up here at the top, I thought we would put "Don't Stop Believing." I thought that was cute. Now I hope I really didn't hurt anybody's feelings yesterday by saying I don't like bees. It's not that it was just an expression. I don't try to get too close to them. Sometimes I swell up pretty good if I get a bee sting, and that's not a good thing. So I don't try to get around them. So, and that'll close over like that. Now we're going to do our underneath flap. This is the outside. I want the inside. Yeah, it's going to go like that. So I'm just going to put glue on it. Okay, and then on this flap, we're just going to put a little pocket. And I just rounded the edges and made my little thumb notch. And you just have to measure to see how wide you want it to be. So this was a leftover piece. So what's better to do with it than make a pocket out of it? And then I had, these were cutoffs. Let me just move this around a little bit, and then I want to round my edges on them, or round my corners on them, because I like my corners rounded. See how that is now. What did I do with the other one? There it is. That's better. So we'll just round our corners. So you can add pockets or tucks or belly bands, anything to these that you want. You can decorate it multiple ways. Sometimes when I make something, then I sit and think of so many different ideas that I have for different ways of doing it. Okay, so we have journal space there. Then we're going to turn this over and do our outside flap. Let me do my other bottle. With this one, I just have to be careful because the opening is just a little tiny bit bigger. I don't want to overdo the edges and squirt it out everywhere. This one does put my glue down a little bit faster. And some of these that are a little bit thicker, I can wipe some of it off. Now some of my borders are a little bit wider than others, but in the long run I don't think it matters a whole lot. Now this I'm going to use as my closure. I should have done this one first. A toe. Well, I won't make my hole go through there. I will glue it to this side. I should have done it before I did this side. That's all right. So now we're going to do our back page, and we'll put this on in a minute. And I thought this page was really cute. Let's see if I have to trim this. I might have to trim this just barely. I thought this was cute with all of the like collaged paper. Let's try that. That's better. Now we can go ahead and do this in the center. I don't know if I asked on the first video or not. How many of you have made paper bag journals? I think some of them are just so cute and such clever ideas. So many things you can do with it. Sometimes as long as you have a good imagination. And then sometimes you just get inspiration from other YouTubers, which is good. I don't think I could ever tell someone that they couldn't use my idea to make the same thing. I just think it's good when you can find that inspiration, especially sometimes, you know, you get mind blocks and you can't think of anything. Then you have to look for that little bit of help. And sometimes you can take that idea from somebody else and you just change it up a little bit. Hopefully that's straight. Okay. Now we'll work on this. Now I have these circles already done. I cut, it's not cardstock, it's for making cards out of, but I glued, I want to say I glued 4 of these together and 3 of these together. This is 1 inch and this is tiny. So I wanted this one on the bottom to raise my my brad up. Just going to use this little brad. And I'm going to have it on here. And I wanted it up high enough off of the paper so I could wrap a really pretty yarn around it that I found. Periodically I will see yarn or stuff like that and I'll think, oh, that's just too cool and I could do something with that. So a lot of times it lays here forever and then eventually I have to see what I'm doing here. Eventually then you find something to do with it. All right, so I poked my hole and I'm going to put this brad in here. I didn't think that would make the poor little bee look too bad. So I want to glue these together before I do that. Okay, that come out quite fast. So let me just hold that for a second so it'll set up. And this is just still my art glitter glue, so it sets pretty fast. And we'll put a little around on this. The yarn that I'm going to use is pretty fuzzy, so I wanted it to be able to, this to be able to be up just a little bit higher. And I'm going to put this through here. I want it to sit about like that. Now I think I want to go off for just a second, and I want to cut this one leg a little shorter so my yarn doesn't get caught on it. There we go. I didn't want them to stick out over the side. So then I'm going to just glue this on here, about in the center. Make sure there's a little extra glue on there to hold that good. And put it back just a little tiny bit. I think that looks about centered. We'll let that sit for just a minute. So that won't bother anything with our pocket under here. Now while that's drying, now let me see. I didn't put any gems on here or here, so I'll go ahead and add some gems and we'll let that dry. Let me put my cap back on this, and for right now I'll put my cap back on this because I want to use my Fabri-Tac. I think I have a clog here. I'll probably have to clean out that tip again. And then I think I have these two big, I have three. I have these three big circles. I think I could probably put one there. Oh, we could probably stick one right there. And let's see, maybe we could just stick one right there. Then I have this one, do you believe? Now, if you wanted to decorate the back, I could always put this back here, but I don't want to cover up that big butterfly. Or I could put that on here. Maybe I'll do that. Let me see what that looks like. And then maybe we could just add another big, I don't want to overdo this too much. I don't want it to look funny. I don't like that there. I like that there, but it's sideways. I think I could still put that there and it would look just fine. I'm going to do that. We'll just use this glue since it's open. So we'll just put this back here. That's what we'll do. It could have went up here. Now I'm overthinking this. I don't want to overthink it. No, 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 no. Okay, we're going to put pink there. After we get done with this, we can sew in our signature, and then we'll be all done. Okay, so we have a pink one there, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, let go of my finger. Oh, it doesn't want to let go of me. Then we will put one there, and one there, and one there, and one there. Close that up for a minute. I like these stickers, but I don't like the little glue dots that's on the back of them. They stick better to you than they stick to the paper. Put that there. And one more. Right there. Okay. Now I think this should be all done. Yes, it is. Okay. Now we can go ahead and put our signature in here, and you can tell this is fresh coffee dyed paper because, oh, smells like I have a cup of coffee sitting here. And once that's in there, this will close down nice, and that'll make a nice journal. Okay, so let me get my stuff and I'll be right back. Okay, so while I was off, I went ahead and punched my holes. So we're just going to start in the center. And then after you do your spine, after you put your signature in, over your spine, if you don't like the string showing, you can always put lace or ribbon or something over it. And I think the washi tape on the inside is going to be just fine. Let me put this away so I don't drop it. I have my needles are in a little felt sewing needle book. Made one for my daughter and one for myself quite a long time ago. Of course, all my needles aren't in it yet, but what are you gonna do? And then I'm just gonna cut this off. You can leave it long, put in a bow. You can start it from the outside and leave it long so you can have dangles. So let me take this off. Well, I shot that one on the floor somewhere. And fold this over. Now I have 10 sheets. So that's like 40 pages that you get to write on. So that gives you a lot of writing space. So now we'll fold this over. And that's a nice journal. So this is the yarn that I'm using. I think it goes so well with the colors. I just couldn't resist. Of course, I don't know where the regular center is. Because how does one ever find the center of the yarn ball? Okay, I have enough out there now. Now, I've also seen lately that sometimes the girls will just wrap their yarn around this and not tie it. Now, I also think I like that idea. So, I'm going to try that on this one this time. And then we'll just go around. And I think that would be just fine. Maybe. Let me rewrap it. Let me see what I'm doing here. Otherwise, you can just tie it. So let's just do that. Maybe it's because this yarn is bulky. And of course, you know, everyone's not going to use yarn that's real bulky. So let's just wrap it. We'll go around once. We'll come back around and we'll just wrap it. I think that looks better. There we go. I just like this yarn with this color paper. Okay, so let's do one walk through and then we're all done. So we have a little pocket here. And then this is just an extra little goodie you can do whatever you want with. We have a pocket out here on the front with little journaling cards and just an extra little bee circle to do with whatever you want. Then we open this up. We have some journaling papers here in our little pocket back here. Then we have this little journal paper and an extra bee. It says be yourself. Then we open up our little secret pocket and we have all kinds of little journal papers. I just really like these pockets. Then we have our signature. Then over here we have an extra pocket with some more journal cards. I just think these are cute. These are just too cute. I really like these. So that is our Rustic Bee Journal. Let me know what you think. Just wrap this up here. Wrap it one more time and wrap it around. And there's the back. And I just like this paper. All right, everyone, so that's my video. That's part 2. Let me know down in the comments what you think. If you like it, I just ask that you give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I invite you to subscribe. And until next time, everyone, have a wonderful day and happy crafting. Bye for now.